welcome to Evening News. I'm Aishat Khalid. Let's have a look at tonight's top stories first. Housing Minister Dr. Mohammad Muizz says that the government has reached an agreement with Tata Company to resume the stalled housing project with a set of certain conditions. President Abdullah Yamin's nominations for the post of Prosecutor General failed to secure adequate marks at committee stage. And Housing Minister Dr. Mohammad Muizz says that the reclamation project in Addu will begin next year and that funds allocated for it in this year's budget will be used to conduct the EIA and tendering process. Housing Minister Dr. Mohammad Muizz says that the government has reached an agreement with Tata Company to resume the stalled housing project with a set of certain conditions.
Speaking to the press on efforts to resume the stalled housing project awarded to Tata Company by the Nasheed administration, Housing Minister Dr. Mohammad Muizz said that the Economic Council is working very hard to instigate the construction of flats under the project. He said that an agreement has almost been reached with Tata after attaching certain addendums to the contract as desired by the government. Muizz said that the agreement demands that the company begin construction in Garkoshi and Arabia within 45 days of signing the agreement. Minister said that flats in Garkoshi must be completed within 10 months of the date of signing and flats in Arabia must be completed within 12 months of the date of signing. He said that it has been agreed to give the plot of land where the Government Employees Club was formerly located to Tata once the agreement is signed. Speaking on efforts to restart the housing project, which has been stalled for over 2 years now, Housing Minister Dr. Muizz said that in the agreement signed by the Nasheed administration, it was stated that the company shall construct 150 flats in the project's second phase and that the current government will also keep the clause unchanged. Minister said that while the Economic Council is negotiating decisions regarding the agreement, no decisions have been made to grant any additional financial incentives to the company.
So 150 flats will also be built as per the agreement with Economic Council and Apex. So there's a total of 500 flats. With Apex, we will go into details of how and where the 150 flats will be built. The agreement is based on trust. So within a week or so, if Tata gives the final confirmation to the agreement set out by the Council, we can sign with them even next week. Once they sign, they will have to bind to the dates. If they don't, the agreement will be dissolved. We will also seek the AG's counsel on the matter before finalization.
President Abdullah Yamin's nomination for the post of Prosecutor General failed to secure adequate marks at committee stage. Parliament's Committee on Independent Commissions held a meeting last night, during which points were awarded to the two candidates. Mamun Hamid received 30% marks, while Muhtaz Mohsin received 67% marks. 70% marks are required for a nomination to be passed. Since both the candidates received less than 70%, the committee did not approve the nominations. However, the final decision will be made when the nominations are sent to the Parliament floor for a vote. President Yamin forwarded the nominations to the Parliament on the 2nd of last month. He had forwarded Mamun Hamid's name to the 17th Parliament as well, but failed to be passed. Housing Minister Dr. Mohammad Muizz says that the reclamation project in Addu will begin next year and that funds allocated for it in this year's budget will be used to conduct the EIA and tendering process. The minister made the statement while responding to questions posed by Mardu MP Ibrahim Sharif at today's Parliament sitting.
At Tuesday's sitting, Housing Minister Dr. Mohammad Muizz said that several land reclamation projects have had to be delayed to the end of this year due to lack of funds. He said that around 1 million rupiah has been set in this year's budget for land reclamation and that the amount will be spent on conducting EIAs and tendering processes. Minister said that while land reclamation in Gaftal Tinadu and Addu cities Hidadu will begin next year, the government will reclaim land in the more populous islands as much as the budget allows and issue land plots thereafter. Responding to questions posed by MPs, the Housing Minister also gave information on the Islamic facility to be issued under the government's home ownership program. He said that over 5,000 people have applied for Islamic facility, which will be issued within 1.5 months.
We launched an Islamic facility scheme. Over 5,000 applications have been received. We are now verifying the applications. After verifying as per the MOU with HDFC, we will make agreements with the recipients and issue Islamic facility to them within 1.5 months.
Dr. Moise added that 53 houses have been built in Kudahuwadu to shelter the displaced tsunami victims of Dalwani, and that as soon as the councils make the necessary decision, Wani residents will be shifted to Kudahuwadu. In addition, Minister Moise said that work is underway to design harbour construction in Fafu Magudu, and that construction will begin before September once the design is finalized. He added that work to repair the harbour in Biladdu will begin this year, along with the construction of Hadal Kumundus harbour.
Maldivian Roda Mahavara Hasage Ailano te Rahmet Terenaiku India ge Trivandramannoni Chennaiya Dekol ticket M7 kanuwa dihanuwa $. Ituru maulumat hodama tine faheng hataraka gulalava. Maldivian, flying made simple.
Welcome back in more news. Adal Party says that its Palestine Relief Fund to help Palestinians afflicted by the ongoing Israeli aggression in Gaza will be opened on either Thursday or Friday. According to the party's president, Sheikh Imran Abdullah, the fund will be opened at a special function and all final preparations for the fund are underway. The party is also engaged in discussions with the relevant authorities to make arrangements for donations to be made via banks and SMS service. The party also organized a fundraiser in 2010 to help Palestinians affected by Israeli aggression and mustered a sum of $100,000 donated to Palestine via the Qatar Red Crescent. According to AP, plans are underway to open this year's fund for residents in the atolls. 2 Pakistanis involved in a major drug smuggling case have been deported. The 2 were among 15 people arrested in March this year for smuggling 24 kilograms of drugs into Maldives via an Iranian fishing vessel. They were reportedly deported sometime yesterday following lack of enough evidence to press charges. All the 11 Pakistanis arrested in connection with this case have now been released. Meanwhile, police have concluded the investigation and forwarded names of 5 people for prosecution. The seized drugs have a street value of about 100 million rupiah and were found hidden in a dinghy on the fishing vessel. And although the vessel's crew members were arrested, some of them have also been released. Police have not revealed the role of the vessel and its crew in this case. Only 1 foreigner and 4 locals are under police custody at the moment. Out of the 4 locals, 2 have been released to house arrest. The Department of Judicial Administration says that 4 individuals applied to contest the election to appoint a member to JSC from among judges of lower courts. These 4 individuals are Civil Court Judge Ali Nasir, Drug Court Judge Muhammad Isafur, Faf Magudu Magistrate Court Senior Magistrate Abdus Sattar Suleiman, and Drug Court Judge Zubair Muhammad. JSC's election to appoint a member representing lower courts is set to take place on the 20th of this month. Ahmad Nizam, better known as Kela Nizam, who was appointed as the chairman of Maldives Ports Limited on a Jumhuri Party ticket, has been removed from the post. Privatization Board has reportedly informed Nizam of the decision. He had previously served as Member of Parliament for Halif Atoll and served at the Special Majlis. He had served as the chairman of Maldives Ports Limited during the Wahid administration as well, but he was a member of DRP at the time. He left the party following its decision to join MDA during the presidential elections last year. And when President Abdullah Yameen came to power, he joined Jumhuri Party and was subsequently appointed as the chairman of Maldives Ports Limited. And with that, we conclude tonight's evening news. Thank you for joining us. Have a pleasant evening.